He is the vice president for Draftdaily Fantasy Sports. Jason Liberto joins us right here on New to the Street. And Jason, thanks so much for being here.
Thank you for having me. I'm very excited to be on Exploring the Block.
You know, Jason, fantasy sports is so big. Everyone is playing it now. But Draftdaily Fantasy Sports, what inspired you to take on this kind of project?
Fees. On Draft Daily, we have, with our cryptocurrency, Fantasy Gold, people can purchase a Masternode, make a small investment, and they can go to draftdaily.com, and if they set up a Masternode, they get residual income off of this Masternode. So you're talking about 18% monthly return on your investment, and that's if the coin price does not rise. And for fantasy sports players, oh gosh, they get to enter our contests off of their rewards from their Masternodes, and they'll always get rewards for the next 3 years. So they're playing for free. So it's a win-win-win situation for everyone,
I know it's win-win-win, but people hear the word crypto and they get kind of like, I'm going to lose my money. When you look at that, how do you counter that thought?
It's simple. Listen, if you buy Google or Microsoft or Apple stock and it goes down in a week, are you selling it? You're only out when you're out, okay? You only lose money when you sell it. It's just like the stock exchange. It rises and falls. Of course, my team and we will do everything we can to avoid, a fall, but that's my answer to that. I mean, you're not out till you're out. And we all have seen what these major companies have done. I mean, we both own, Google 10 years ago. We'd probably be really rich right now.
That's very true. Now, crypto, fantasy, esports, this idea, where did it come from?
I've been a fantasy sports enthusiast, player. I've been involved in fantasy sports for about 24 years. When I was a kid, 14, I was in leagues, and all through my adolescence and everything. I mean, I was taking the stats from the Baltimore Sun and writing the player stats down and adding the scores up. And so I've been in this, I've been involved in fantasy sports for a very long time.
It's really interesting you say that, because there are so many people out there who started fantasy sports when it was just newspapers. But now, with computers, how quickly do you guys update for the players and for people who are owning their sports teams and they see those player stats come in?
Our API, which is our statistics, our API provider, the stats are real time. So it's within, I'd say, 30 seconds.
Wow.
Or less, depending on what sport it is. Sometimes baseball, the guys, the coach will go to the mound or something. There may be a delay there, but other than that, it's as close to real time as it can be.
With any business, staying focused is always a key. What is the main focus for your company?
The main focus of my company is to let the public know that there's a better and easier way to do things. On draftdaily.com, you can simply, it is not complicated. You go to draftdaily.com, you sign up, you make a deposit with your debit or credit card, and you play. It's that simple. There's no sending here, sending there. It's one stop, one shop. We have credit card processors, merchant processors. We're backed by Skrill and some other merchants. And this, a lot of the problems with crypto right now is nobody understands, well, we got to move it here, move it there, do this, do that. We're going to simplify everything and make it really easy and as transition-free as possible. We want to simplify everything because that's what everybody wants. Everybody wants it simple.
Hey, Jason, is there a hook sport here? The one sport where you see most people want to be involved in Draftdaily Fantasy Sports, the way they want to get their money into your company because they want to play this?
NFL is dominant. It's head and shoulders dominant. But I will tell you, NBA is gaining a lot of traction.
Really?
Oh, yes.
Is that because just the amount of games and the late games, it keeps people interested?
You know what? I think it's because of the players, honestly, because of all the stars. I mean, look at one team, Golden State.
Yeah.
God, they've got like 5 superstars on their team. I think it's the stars, you know. I think it's the LeBrons. It's the Durants. It's the Stephen Currys. It's these guys that just make they're helping the NBA. I mean, let's face it. Everybody loved the NBA when Michael Jordan was around. So
interesting. And now, do fantasy sports play worldwide, or is it just American sports?
No, you can play fantasy sports on draftdaily.com from anywhere in the world. It's just the payment processing is different. Right now in the United States, anybody in the United States can play, and worldwide you can play, but I do not have yet the ability for you to pull out your debit or credit card and, you know,
but
buy
you see that's in a market for you? Like NBA is huge in China, right? Mm-hmm. You could see eventually getting into that market, so a way that an NBA fan in China could play fantasy sports on your site?
Absolutely. And buy it seamlessly, just like the users in the United States can right now.
So 1 year, 3 years from now, where do we look? What do you see with your site?
We are expanding at a rapid rate. I see Fantasy Gold not only powering fantasy sports and esports. I want you to go to McDonald's and buy a burger with your, if you go to McDonald's, and buy a burger with your Fantasy Gold. I want people buying houses. I want people buying cars with Fantasy Gold.
I want to buy a house with my gold.
So
I'm winning from you.
Oh yeah, I'm already head and shoulders above most cryptocurrencies because I have the unique availability to buy my coin with a credit or debit card in the United States, where there's only one other coin I know that you can do that with, and it's called Bitcoin. So I stand in a very rare section there.
So how do people, or maybe advertisers, people get involved in your site?
That's simple. Just go to fantasygold.io. You go to team, and you'll see all my team members, and you'll see my pretty mug on there, and you'll see my LinkedIn profile and stuff. And you just click it, and you'll be there.
He is the vice president for Draftdaily Fantasy Sports, Jason Liberto. Thank you so much.
Thanks for having me.
All right, you're watching New to the Street. Much more to do right here.